Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Bailey and I are doing a discussion over Arydia, The Paths We Dare Tread. So, again, as I talk about in every single series that we do, this is a preliminary discussion, more or less. It's not really first impressions, because we're... I really don't know how long this campaign is. But we're quite a few sessions into it. But this is our overall thoughts on what we think of the game so far, and what we... what we're hoping for going forward. So, in your experience, your only examples or experience with board game campaigns is from Fateforge.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really solid comparison to make with this one.
Yeah.
Even though this has a lot more going on than that one.
Yeah, it has definitely a lot more like options and like with the skills and stuff like that. I think I really like the idea that you have to master it to actually use it. You don't just like, oh, I know exactly how to use it.
Right.
It still is like I learned the idea of how to use this, but I need to now actually use the idea.
Yeah, and it's also extremely quick to do it. It's not like a meter you have to slowly do.
I accidentally learned how to do the other one without realizing that I did it. So
right. So this one is probably the perfect example of an open world campaign game as a board game. Because there's another game that I'm not the biggest fan of that has open world, and it's just a fucking grind fest the entire time, and it's just, the worst to play. Here, you're basically, from a theme standpoint, is your exiles trying to get what's called squills, which are these coins, these wooden coins, to buy back your citizenship.
Yeah.
And from a plain concept of that, it's just like, oh, then we're just doing odd jobs
until we
just can come back.
Yeah.
Now, that has a simplicity standpoint, which is nice, but then also I'm kind of hoping it branches into something...
An actual story.
Yeah. Something that eventually leads us into a bigger narrative. Mm-hmm. Funny enough, our D&D session that we're in right now, it's this exact same concept of guild work. Of like, we can only do guild work for so long before
it just gets boring.
Exactly. But what's fascinating about this game is whenever they're giving you jobs or whenever you're talking to people, one, they do this pseudo role-playing thing. I don't love or hate that. I think it just depends on how your group wants to play.
Yeah. I think in the standpoint of just two people, it wouldn't be... It's not as like, oh, let's really role play it, because then it's like we can't really talk to each other during it kind of thing. But like in the way of like, recording it and doing it, it makes it a little more fun, makes it a little more entertaining. But if we have like, the actual like 4 players that this thing can do, it would make it a little bit more fun, because 3 of us could actually, kind of be like, oh, how do we go about this?
Yeah, you could have like one person who's always reading cards, like kind of like as a DM. Yeah, no, I agree with that. But what's really cool is like whenever you're talking to NPCs, they're not just always telling you like, hey, I need this. Like, for example, we ran into a cart person like in the last session.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, these guys stole my mules. If you happen to find any big animals that can help me push my cart, let me know. And in a lot of games, that would just be like, hey, pull out this card to go here and give us the job already.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do that. We just have to remember, oh, wasn't there a guy who wanted some... So if we happen to come across animals, it might give us a key card that says, when you come across
so-and-so,
this merchant, you read this.
Yeah.
I really like that. I like how there's an actual sense of exploration in this game. Without it being cumbersome to explore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example, one of the first things we were told in this campaign was, hey, go north, there's a town like that. You can jumpstart your exile jobs.
Yeah.
And we're like, north, got it.
And we
went...
Well, we went here,
north,
and it was like, there's nothing. Like, this is north.
Yeah.
This is north.
Right.
Or we actually just went...
Yeah, it's
west.
like, okay, you could have said northeast,
Or
this
yeah,
is
northeast.
east. It's west to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, hey, maybe you should have said northeast because I would have leaned us. But then, like, to be fair, like we can't go that way. So like north would have been there, but yeah, then we just kept going pseudo north, but I mean, it was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like, oh, by the way, you didn't go where we wanted you to go. Here's some god tier enemy you can't beat.
Then we ran into people that when we actually went to the proper town, we ran into people that were like, oh yeah, by chance if you're over there, this is what's going on, and we're like, we already did that.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
already
cool.
there. We are somewhat aware of what you're talking about. So I really, really like that. I think that gives an excellent sense of exploration without punishing the players for exploring.
I like the movement on here 10 times better than the movement system in Fate Forge.
You're talking about in combat, or are you talking about
like out of combat, the like moving around the map and stuff like that?
Oh, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
I knew you're like where it was kind of like where we like looked at a map and
They were trying to kind of figure out like clues how to where to go.
That was gimmicky in Fate Forge. It kind of if they leaned way more into that, that could have been cool. But they did it like once and then like chickened out.
Well, so like the way I'm thinking about it is like when we're traveling, we're going to the next area, and we have something to do.
Yes,
like there's always something. We get something good, we get something negative, something like that. And
it's like you have your generic travel deck of like, you're tired, you're hungry.
Yeah.
Depending on which route you take, you might have to spend stamina. But then every now and then you're given a random event.
Yeah.
And I really like that as well. Because with the travel deck like you're mentioning, if it was an event every single time, it would be like, ugh.
It would be like, I don't want to travel because I don't have to stop and do this 10 minute thing.
Just, okay, let me rifle through this every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But so it makes the special events special.
Yeah. However, the thing that is kind of like because like we needed a specific special event, we know it's here in this area. Mm-hmm. So we just kept going in a triangle until we got it.
Yeah. And again, in other open world games, that would have been so cumbersome. But here, it didn't bother me as much because, one, we knew, okay, if it's one of 3 cards.
Yeah, because it says put it in the top
in the top cards. 2, yeah. So I was just in it thematically. This game really lets you roleplay and get into the... Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, we're trying to hunt these rats, so we're just looking around for where the hell are they. And then, I mean, luckily it wasn't like, oh, shuffle into the travel deck. You know, here's 30 cards. Hopefully you come across it. It's like, I'd like to complete the job. So that was fun. That was like kind of our very first job to actually do, which we still haven't even gone to reap the benefits from it. So the actual exploration part, the adventure phase, is extremely clean and does a really good job of letting you just kind of immerse yourself into the world. Then we go into the combat. Bailey, what do you think of the combat?
The combat, I think it's pretty clean.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's pretty clean.
Yeah.
So like, mine's a little bit different from yours. You have to roll the bigger dice to check certain things.
It basically is how well I play like my notes or my songs.
So, which I get it because we're in a combat situation, like that you having to do this and watch from getting hit.
Right, it's like trying to shred.
Which that makes sense. That really works out. But for mine, I'm just rolling my 20, hitting, and being like, okay, here's my damage. So like I don't have to worry about a whole lot of things. Which I don't remember. Was there a class that was like a spellcaster?
Yeah, nope. There's, there's your standard, D&D style.
Yeah,
you have your warrior, you have your ranger, you have your spellcaster, you have your rogue, and then you have your bard.
Okay.
So there's 5 classes.
Okay, so I'm assuming that the spellcaster would probably be the same way as that, is trying to weave a spell and you have to roll.
I don't know how they cast spells. I think they do like area damage, like if it's like. Because there's a icon that we haven't really seen. It's like this red star symbol. That's
I just got that. For my first one.
Yeah, so that's kind of more area
Okay.
damage where they're doing lightning bolt or something like
Gotcha.
that. So
Okay.
I know the rogue, because the how to play I've watched of this. He plays a rogue, and their starting thing is they can hide, and if they like do a backstab attack, they add 20 to their roll.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then they also put traps down.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of like their starting stuff.
But all in all, combat-wise, the armor stuff of it getting hit in certain areas is really nice. I like that. Because it's not just like, oh, you have one or two, don't get hit more than that.
Yeah.
But no, like, I can get hit multiple times in certain areas and it not affect me.
Yeah. I love this inventory management.
Oh, yeah. It's really... I mean, like I said, I don't have a ton of experience in these games, but like I've seen other games.
It's in no other game. I have played.
Oh, really?
No, I have. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe there's some game out there that does have
this
something like that.
obscure other game.
I have played a ton of campaign games, and none of them have this positioning grid of left hand, right hand.
Yeah.
None of this of like putting individualized armor on specific places. That if you just don't have armor there, you're taking full damage.
Yeah.
Which can suck when it's like, okay, like I'm covered up on my full right side and they only hit the left.
Like you got hit on one side that, of course, didn't have the armor.
Yeah, exactly. But this game is not really that punishing when you go down. It's not like
No, I have a way to come back up. Like,
I mean, but it almost teaches you like, okay, well, I don't have anything on my left shoulder. Again, immersing yourself into the combat. It allows you to be like, man, I have nothing on my feet, so I'm just wearing booties or whatever, potato sacks on my feet. And then these rabid giant rats are coming in and attacking me.
Stomping on you.
Yeah, biting me, and then it's like I get whipped by the tail, and that's just where it happens to hit. You can get into it a lot more. And then it's like, well, you know what? I can only get hit twice before I go down, so our next level up, I'm gonna increase my health.
Which, with the level up, I really like that they go through and say, at this level I have a 5 in something, and I don't level it up for a little bit, and then I level it up like 2 levels later, I don't have to just go up by 1.
Yeah.
I jump to that level 5 or whatever spot and brings it up 2 or 3. Which I love the idea of that. Instead of having to be like, oh, well, I can only add 1 to this one, so I can level up 1. But no, so you could skip one or two things, like, okay, bring my health up a little bit, and then not worry about your other stuff, and then at level 9 be like, oh no, I want this, and jump up 6 levels.
And have a million MP. Yeah, no, it almost incentivizes you to actually spread out your levels.
Yeah.
Versus like, well, I just want to be good at charisma. It's like, you can do that. You're just going to be very slowly increasing it. It's like, well, why don't you do intelligence and strength for a little bit, and then, at level 10, at level 5, then do charisma. So then you're going up
4 levels.
Going up, yeah, and in my case it would be 3. I also really like that. They allow you to, because the game isn't meant to be, at least to me, it doesn't seem like it's meant to kind of mid-max everything. It's not. You're meant to just kind of skip a bunch of stuff the entire time. So that you stay relevant in whatever you're doing. Like, for example, in this last level up, we leveled up to level 3. Speaking of which, we need to get our level 3 stuff. I had not touched intelligence the entire time, and normally when I level up in these games, I'm like, oh, what would be a thematic level up? Well, I've probably learned a bit as we've done all this stuff. Intelligence makes sense. I went from 0 to 4.
Yeah.
That's now my highest stat. Even though, like, thematically...
You're charisma based.
Yeah, I'm charisma
So, like,
based.
I have... there's a skill in my set that was like, hey, you need intelligence to do this. Or, like, you need intelligence to... You have to make intelligence saves to do blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. And it's like... I looked at that as like, maybe next time I can when I do a level up, I can do intelligence, and now I have that +4, +5 in it.
Yes.
And I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then I can use it. But, like, if we get an intelligence roll or a charisma roll, I'm not adding anything into it. But it doesn't say next level, I can go through and get it, and then it'd be my top score.
Yeah, now you're adding 5 to it. It's such a clean, innovative. Everything about this game is extremely innovative. Like I'm not sitting here going, oh, that's pulled from this game, that's pulled from this game.
Yeah.
This game does it better. I can't think of anything that this game has added or made that I'm like, oh, you know what? This game does it better because no one else has done it. So the grid-based inventory management is awesome. I love also how it's like, oh, to move, you have to take one of your minor actions and you have to put it on your feet to actually move. It's not just, oh, you have 3 action points, which you do, but, oh, you just use one of them to move.
Yeah.
You actually have to physically move it onto your feet to move. If you want to swap out your inventory, which you can, you take an action and you put it on your hands.
Oh,
to actually pull and be like, oh shit, I need my Tonto out.
So like if I wanted to go through and swap out to my dagger, I could.
You take one of your actions and put it onto your hands to reach into your inventory.
Oh, see, that's nice. Like that's a good
very thematic things. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And then we get into actually how we attack and deal damage, and that's what made me so excited because I had backed this game, and then a different YouTuber he got a copy early, and I was like, oh, let me see what this game's about because I don't really remember. And whenever he was talking about how combat, they actually had hit spots, and your weapons do a specific type of attack. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, my Tonto hits diagonal down, my whip hits diagonal up, diagonal up and then over. So where you are facing, how you actually damage the enemies you're fighting to try and kill them it's so matters. Cool. It has the best of both worlds in that you get to roll and deal damage, but it's also a puzzle.
Oh yeah. Because
there's another game called Sleeping Gods that's very narrative, very adventure-esque. But it does have combat, but it's kind of like a grid-based puzzle in how you're dealing damage. That is the only kind of similarities I can see from this to that, but it's so completely different. But I love that combat where it's like, it's not just, oh, their health pool is 40. We just got to deal. Okay, I rolled, my attack does 8 damage. Okay, 40 minus 8. It's none of that. It's just
hit this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they could easily just go through and say, oh, this big rat has 10 health, hit it 10 times. Mm-hmm. But, like, this way, because you can have those extra critical markers, and it does an extra damage, and lets you knock one of those things out, which is great.
No, yeah, exactly. Like, if I'm able to, against the giant rat, I'm not able to hit a critical spot. But, like, on the little rat, that's a perfect death.
Yeah,
for me, because I can hit up here, which goes up, which hits the critical. So a whip one just kills one rat.
They're different.
They are different. Yeah, the same exact rat is different.
Same rat, but then like the critical's in a different spot. So like I would have been able to hit this one and kill it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This one you could. This one you couldn't have done.
Yeah,
but like neither one of us could have done it on this one. But this one we could have.
Yeah.
So like, it's really cool that it. I think I pointed out when we were playing last time that I was like, oh, these are different because like we were the training dummy.
Oh yeah,
because I think there's 2 of them that we had to fight.
There's
some that had 2 that we fought, and I was like
boars. There were the 2 boars that we fought.
And I was like, oh, let me hit it like this, and then you're like, well, you're attacking this one. I was like, oh, the critical's different. So yeah. So okay, so it doesn't matter what I just did.
No, exactly. It kind of has you think about who should attack what, who would be better equipped for it. I think the combat is absolutely phenomenal. Extremely clean in what you're doing. The one thing that I'm extremely curious about is this game doesn't have a ton of stuff. Like it's not like, oh, here's the base box and I have 18 different expansion boxes.
Yeah.
I'm very curious as to, because right now we just hit level 3. Goes up to 10, which you get exponentially more and more XP that you need. Like, for us to hit level 4, we need 10 XP. Then 15, 20, 25, 36, 45, and 50. My only... Not necessarily... It's not a complaint, because it's not like... Even though I have a practice loot or practice Tonto, it's not like it's doing less damage or anything. I'm curious on how they're going to keep... builds interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of where I'm at. Even though if we look at like our skill tree, like because you're only going to get up to level 10. You're only going to get at most 10 of these, which there are, I guess, 12. But you're not going to be able to use all of them anyway.
No,
you only have spots for 5.
Spots. 5 spots, yeah.
But it's more on like items.
Yeah.
Because they did this gimmicky thing with this chest, and we have like our own path chest. But there's not like another box of gear.
Yeah. What's here is here.
The only thing that's left is, we have this box large one over here. And there's actually another box in there. So this is kind of my only curiosity, is how do they keep the freshness of our stuff? Because it's like, man, am I going to be using a practice Tonto this whole fucking game?
Yeah.
And maybe it's just not that kind of game where you just have a plethora of just items and stuff. But it would be nice if we got amazing armor,
better stuff. Yeah. I don't see it going through and like, I don't think we're gonna go through and like for like my bow, I don't think it's gonna go through and be like, oh, here's this bigger, better bow.
Yeah.
Like I might get one better bow, and I might do like an X. Like my scythe does, I can hit 3 things.
Yeah.
But that's also at a 20 plus to hit all 3.
Right. Which again, I also love how they did the D20 system.
Yeah. But that's if I hit a 3. Or if I can hit all 3, like that's good. That's gonna drop a lot of people.
Yeah.
So with the bow, I can see maybe it doing like 1 extra thing or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna go through and be like, you'll hit these 10 spots or something like that.
Yeah.
Or they might add like armor piercing. Later on.
You don't have armor piercing. That is one of the rogue things. Is you'll
piercing.
have armor piercing whenever you're whenever you have certain like target spots that have a blue thing around it. Like
okay.
That means armor piercing.
So my snipe has blue on it.
Can I see it?
But the actual thing doesn't say armor piercing though.
No, because they tried to. Yep, that's armor piercing.
Oh, cool. Good. Well, that's something new that I just learned.
Because they tried to do a lot of shorthand stuff where they don't flood you with a bunch of like text. Also, speaking of which, when we're talking about our builds and our characters and stuff, the fact that they give you a card for every single ability an item is fucking amazing. Like that makes it so intuitive to actually play the game. Of like,
so you can go through and remember and really see everything.
Yeah, like we took months off of playing, and I was like, I asked you before we started, it's like, do you just want to restart so we can kind of remember? And then as we were kind of like quickly relearning, it's like, oh no, never mind. Like if I need to remember how my loot works, it's right here, and on the back are FAQs.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too. I didn't notice it the first time I played, but I flipped something over earlier, and I was like, oh, there's questions on the back of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's real. So yeah, I started. I think it was with the knapsack. I noticed it with. Yeah, it was the knapsack. But yeah, so I think that's really neat. That's because it's like I don't have to go through and be like, hey, when I'm using this, can I do whatever? And it's just like I can just look here and be like, oh no, I can't hit someone with that range.
It allows you to be self-sufficient instead of being like, hey, can I see the rule book? Or what does this keyword mean?
Yeah.
You just get to do it all yourself. And so many of these games fuck that up so bad where it's just like...
They either blow out a ton of text or they just don't give you anything.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like up to the one person who owns the game to learn every single... It's like, I don't have to know how your shit works at all. Mm-hmm. As long as you're a competent player and can read, then you know what your stuff does. Again, maybe you might know what a blue thing means. Cause
which we haven't ran into that yet.
Which, does Snipe mention it?
It doesn't. Like, in the actual thing, it does not mention it.
Maybe on the back?
On the back it might. No, it just says, can you snipe through obscure borders?
Oh, okay.
And it's just no.
Gotcha. So there is stuff that you would have to learn, but for the most part, like, you're allowed to just be able to play your character in the way you see fit.
Yeah.
Also, just got to do a massive shout out. The fact that the figures are painted is amazing.
The figures just look nice. I like that you can elongate your own necks.
You're allowed to be like, okay, here's the race and here's the class I'm playing, and you just swap out the little head. You can elongate your neck. Mine's stuck. Mine's in there forever. So the bard is forever a cat. A cat is a fetish.
And they didn't just give you one size character for each one. They did give you the smaller version. If you were
to be fair, that was an expansion.
Was it?
It is.
But still, it's still really cool.
Yeah, no, it's called the Small Bodies expansion, and it's literally like that, where it's like, oh, you're playing a gnome or a dwarf. Here's the actual figure for that. I love that too. Extremely customizable in your character without it being like a headache. There's another game called Oathsworn. They tried to do this armory thing where it's like your class could only use a certain amount of weapons. Mm-hmm. So if you found like a double-handed axe that your class could wield, you theoretically could pop the arms off your miniature and put like a double-headed axe.
That's cool.
And it's really cool, except the pieces don't really stick together. So it's like it's more fiddly really than anything, that it's like you don't really end up doing it. At least I didn't.
Did it feel like kind of like an after thought process?
Kind of. It's like if they had designed that with the forethought of like really making that a thing, it could have been cool. But yeah, it was almost like anytime you moved it, that like, because it was like the chest piece broken too, so you could put the arms in and snap the chest together to hold the arms in. It's like, okay, I'm gonna move my character, and then it like fell apart. It's like, well, I just don't want to fuck with this anymore. Here, it's just the head.
Yeah,
but it still makes you feel like, oh, this is me. This is my little character.
This is my guy.
That, again, has a name, a
title.
A name, a title.
Your race, and then
the character, and then the rank. Which is different for your path. So they just did so many things right. The only thing that I have a few question marks on is
future endeavors, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. The stuff that we just haven't seen. We fought standard RPG enemies, rats, and
the one thing that gave us the most trouble was going up against that one actual person.
Oh yeah, Urky Furts,
because he was that one. I know we were kind of like, we might die.
Are we gonna lose? Yeah. He was kind of like our first challenge. I mean, the boars technically might have beaten us if we were playing correctly.
That is also true.
But yeah, like our first big boss. And he's kind of like the first thing of an inkling of an overall story.
Yeah.
But again, the way that they're doing their storytelling is extremely fascinating, because I love this card system. This card system is not... Okay, this is the one thing that's not super intuitive. This reminds me of another game called Seventh Continent, in that your exploration and a lot of stuff you come across is just based off cards. But the problem with that game is, imagine if every 5 seconds I was digging in here for cards.
Really?
And, like, I kid you not. It's like, we want to move here. Okay, gotta dig for a card. Here we are. Oh, well, there's something I want to interact with. Okay, dig through the card. Here, our investigation, our NPCs, things that we are interacting with is card based. But you're engrossed in what those cards are doing a lot more than just for 5 seconds and then you throw it away. Because right now we have some key words.
That's something we should have noticed earlier.
This is funny. This is actually a perfect example. Boxes of herbs.
Oh.
Who needs herbs?
Oh, the angry fucking halfling that called us poor.
Yep. These are boxes of pungent herbs. It looks like the Puckle bandits didn't know what to do with them, so they've been left untouched. Keep this card in the party inventory until you find a card with the exact text, "My shipment of herbs."
Yeah, so we should go... I even mentioned, I was like, oh, we heard something about herbs.
Yeah, and you did, and I thought it was this job.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's what we have to do. Nope, that's there. And again, I love that. I love that it wants you to be invested, pay attention to what people are saying, versus being told exactly what to do.
Yeah. It's not like go to this person and deliver. It's like listen for these keywords.
Exactly, like Urki's map. We need to find something that says outcropping of white stones.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet.
This letter that we have, and there's a lot of stuff that we've already missed because we failed to check, or
probably.
So I'm also curious what they're going to do about the map. Again, this is all just future stuff, not necessarily negatives, but kind of like, well, there's not different maps that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
It's like, how creative are they going to be with the same board?
Yeah. It's probably something we'll probably end up getting a day card that goes back in, and it's like we get back over to the scene field or whatever it is, and they're like, we pull a card and it's like, oh, you noticed the ruins or something like that. And then we can start pulling other things.
Yes, that's true. They could theoretically, because these are tiles, they could have dossiers that pull out and swap out the actual token. That would be my guess.
Like if we set up a bomb.
But what they did, which is fascinating, is they kept the game very small scale for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
But it's still deep. Like, instead of being like, oh, here's just a bunch of stuff, but it's all surface level. Mm-hmm. It's like, nope, here's a relatively small scale game. I mean, it's a massive box, don't get me wrong. But you're not flooded with minis. You're not overwhelmed with tokens and all this stuff where it's like, okay, here's your 80-page rulebook. Like, literally, the tutorial teaches you the game. And it even says, oh, just look in the rulebook when you have a question.
Yep.
It's really mind-blowing as to how amazing they have made a game in a genre of board games that is just constantly coming out. Campaign games it's every 5 seconds there's a campaign game coming out. Now it's boss battlers, but those are typically campaign games.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely excited to see how this game continues. And another thing that I also love is I love this card system.
Oh,
the index.
I like the idea that it was like, hey, there's these bunch of these 90 cards, and like this is the card you're supposed to pull it out. There's 5 of one specific card. Pull the one that matches your terrain.
Right.
Instead of it just being that, like, here you go.
Yeah, and you have to kind of like do theater of the mind stuff of like, okay, let's pretend we're on the road. It's like, nope, here's the tile for you fighting the rats on the road.
Yeah. I bet there's probably another one that says 90, and it's like in more of a grassy land or something like that.
Yeah. So, and then the fact that they made it to where it's like there's active and inactive, where, you know, as you make decisions or things change, one, it's like, okay, change this NPC to this. So now they have new things to talk about. Like a great example is the guy that we got rid of the ghost.
Yeah.
And he gave us a knapsack, and we're like, this is the same fucking one we got. But then we went and talked to him, and he's like, I can refill that. And it's oh, great. That's
and
good.
This one has a patch.
And it has a patch on it, so we did it for the Flying Fish Inn.
It's mine.
It is yours. I don't even have it. I have a worn knapsack now. But I love how the terrain changes, and it's just an excellent game. And I knew that whenever we were done after our first few sessions. But I was like, I kind of want to wait a little bit longer to do a discussion on it. And now that we've refresh ourselves on how to play, I'm like, it's so good.
Yeah.
There's so like I got really no complaints on it. Do you have any negatives?
I mean, no. I mean, not really. There's nothing about the game that I'm like, ugh, about.
Well, and the other thing is, I'm not sitting here having to read to you walls of text.
Yeah.
With that has a giggling girl in the background. Yeah. Which, I mean, ambiance soundtrack. It's like, okay, you clearly put in the work. Why can't you just have a narrator?
Yeah.
This game... And I get why they don't do narration for this one, because they have that pseudo RPG element. And I find that perfectly acceptable. I think it's actually fun to be like, how do I want to play this NPC? Yeah. And they even tell you, hey, here's his demeanor. Here's a quirk about him.
They do really well about actually showing the, like, oh, they're doing this action. Or, like, oh, big yawn.
You're right.
Like,
Yeah, it when you're reading, you're like, okay, I can act this out. It allows for people who aren't comfortable DMing to DM.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So I'm extremely excited to see how this goes. I don't know how long this campaign is, but this is one of the best examples next to Sleeping Gods of an open world, fantasy RPG.
Yeah, I mean, I have no over the top complaints or anything about it yet. So
yeah, because if you're here's all the foes.
Yeah.
Here's all the keys of unique stuff we can find. Here's all the point of interest, all the NPCs, all the travel cards, all the events.
That's a lot of events.
It's all the jobs. It's insane.
And I do because I noticed it in the other Fate Forge, yeah, that we did. They just told you to put the card back in the deck.
Yeah.
This one they actually say put it in its own separate. We won't use it again. So you now know. As you're going through, you're like, I won't need these cards anymore.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you go through and eventually fully reset it, whatever, you got to go through and, move them back. But they're in each section. So you at least know they're...
Yeah, so I know all of these discarded cards are in these, these are all discarded foes, keys, and day cards.
Yeah.
These are... And I'm curious, because there's not that many day cards. It goes up to day, looks like 13, which is... Doesn't sound like a lot, but you only add a new day whenever you run out of cards. So once we get, flip over day 4, now we'll add day 5. So it becomes a lot before you're adding all of them.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the timer on the campaign.
I mean, maybe.
But because what I don't want is this to be play till you're done.
Yeah.
I want there to be an ending.
It'd be either a forceful ending or we actually finish and get our citizenship back.
Yeah, or even better, there's multiple endings.
Oh,
that would be nice. I always love having multiple endings, but yes, I am very intrigued to see how the campaign actually continues to flesh out. But as of right now, they're off to a phenomenal start.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving Arydia the paths we dare tread right now?
So, limited knowledge of board games in general, I'd go through and give it a 10.
A 10? Yeah.
But, at the very beginning of Fate Forge, I want to go through and say, whenever you ask me that same question, I want to say I gave it a 7 or an 8.
I think it was an 8.
Can't
remember.
The beginning of this game is so much better so far.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the other one because of whatever was going on, but I know I liked it. But then as we started playing, I was like, I see the repetition. I started seeing more flaws with it.
Right.
So I'm gonna safely go through and just give this one an 8.
Okay.
Right now, and then
give it room to go up.
Yeah, give it room to go up when we do our ending review, so I can go through and say, oh, we did notice these problems later on, and that's one of the things first views are always good.
Yeah.
At first, there are some games you first start and it's like, ooh,
you're like, ooh, this sucks.
Yeah. So you have that knowledge of those type of games though.
Yeah.
So you kind of you start seeing it, and you're like, oh, that's not going to be fun.
Right.
But for me, someone who's this is my second big one that I've played. I've played a few other ones with you before, but this is my first big one or second big one, and but we'll find out later on when we start actually getting more into it and start opening the world up more.
Yeah. No, I think 8 is a very, very solid ranking because it puts you in that sense of okay, if by the time we're done in our final review, it jumps up to a 10 potentially, or even a 9. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm in the same exact headspace where it's I want to give this a 10 because I have played so many other games. The only thing that's kind of given me kind of some room for pause is okay, you have this really cool inventory system, but there's not really any items.
Yeah.
So cool, we have that. It'd be really neat if there was a ton of items that you can completely spec out your build.
And we might be able to do it later.
We might. I mean, I don't know. We've only opened up. I don't know if we've actually opened up into. Yes, we have. We have opened up into. But these are figures, so it's I don't know where the builds are coming out because I really like character builds, but to be fair, there's only been one other campaign game that has done character builds to the extent that I want.
Yeah.
Everything else is like either hyper restrictive or similar to this, where it's like, oh, you have a few options. So I'm also going to go in at 8. I'm going to go in at a 9 because I want to give it a 10. But if it kind of stalls out, you know, halfway through, where it's like, we're kind of still doing just jobs. Like, is there no main story? Is there no ending?
That's
like,
where one of my reserves will be. Because like that is like cool. A lot of good games, video games, storytelling starts off with doing small side work like this.
Yeah,
and then you build on top of that. So
yeah,
hopefully it does. Hopefully it does build on top of it and adds a good overarching storyline at least.
Yeah. So we'll see. But really no negatives at all. Mm-hmm. It's more of just what we're wanting to experience as the campaign goes on. But yeah. You got anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
I can't think of anything either. So that's it, everyone. That's our thoughts on Arydia, The Paths We Dare Tread. Stick around for the rest of the series. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.